Hello, Sarah Sabin, Executive Leadership and Intuition Coach here. And in today's video, I'm going to be talking about deferring. And more specifically, I'm talking about deferring on commitments to yourself. So I work with executives and they are very competent people and very used to following through on promises and commitments that they make to other people. But when it comes to keeping promises and commitments to themselves, they quite often fall short. So they have this tendency to put themselves last. Now, this can lead to a few problems. Number one, hitting ceilings, so to speak, because they are not working on the skills that they really need at that stage in time to progress. They're stuck in the cycle of hard work and basically expecting that to be the be all and end all. And it isn't enough at executive level. So I'm going to demonstrate this point by sharing with you a story. Sarah Sabin's story time. A few months ago, and I believe this was August last year, I connected with an executive on LinkedIn. And he ended up reaching out to me and asking if we could connect on a call. Now, it took a while to get on that call. Maybe it was a few weeks that it took. And when we did, he very much liked what I had to say. He went off and had a think, and he knew I could help him. He wanted a few more weeks to make a decision. And that's absolutely fine. I encourage everyone to do their due diligence. I'm not in the business of convincing people to do anything because coaching is a commitment that you have to wholeheartedly make yourself. So after a few more weeks, and I think this took us to maybe it was about December last year, he sent me an email and he said, I'm absolutely determined to work with you. I just need a bit more time before I start. Let's speak again in a few weeks. And unfortunately, some weeks later, he lost his job very suddenly. So one day he was just put on gardening leave. And I say suddenly, but really it wasn't sudden. So there were signs that this was actually coming, signs that it's very often easy to ignore and write off because you're so used to giving 110% at work, doing all the hard work, really going above and beyond for your bosses, but deferring on commitments to yourself. And obviously, because of the sudden job loss, his financial situation had changed as well. So why am I telling you this story, you might wonder? Well, because a few learnings come out of it. Number one, no job is secure. Jobs may give the illusion of security, and actually that can sometimes keep us stuck in our comfort zone, putting in more and more work, more and more into our work life, and less attention on ourselves and our own development. But as many people can discover, you can lose that job very quickly because market conditions are changing very rapidly. I don't think that's a surprise to anyone that I'm saying that. Number two, there will never be an ideal time. I think this is probably my top point that I want to make here. All executives are busy. All my clients are busy. Most of them are also traveling regularly. The ones that succeed and really find meaning and great success in their work, because I'm talking about fulfillment and success, They make the time to work on themselves because they know that this will pay off long term in a multitude of ways, usually not only in the work environment, but in a lot of other ways as well, and their levels of happiness and fulfillment, for example. Third thing I want to just point out, you as an executive could think that it's the hard work and the putting yourself last at work and staying the latest that is going to get you ahead. And that may well have been true at one point in your career, usually when you were younger in your career. But quite often at a more senior level, hard work alone does not pay off. And that is the harsh truth. So the things you write off as soft skills or nice to haves or nice to have someday are more important than you can ever realize. And the fourth thing, had he started with me at the time that he knew he wanted to, which was months ago, he would have been in a completely different position by the time he got this sudden announcement from work. And one of the things that he actually wanted to work on me with was clarity in relation to a career transition. And having worked with hundreds of executives over the years on developing greater clarity, he would have been well along that road had he had a few months of space and pouring into himself to be able to look at what do I want to do next, rather than kind of following along and going on the treadmill of his current path. So what am I saying to you here? Do not defer on the commitments that are important to you. Now, I'm not saying you say yes to any and all decisions. I'm saying if you feel intuitively inclined to, and logically inclined, intuitively and logically inclined to really do something, and you have this strong conviction that it's really going to help your career, at least in the long term, even if not the short term, don't defer on doing it, because most likely there will probably never be an ideal time or a better time, because life has an annoying habit of getting in the way.